Rosa, good morning.
Welcome.
I should say welcome home, but feel at home. But this is your home here. So thank you for having us within the ALN space, and thank you for being on the set. Rosa, tell us a little bit about, first of all, why ALN is in partnership with BPI and the others on this, and what advice would you give to businesses to navigate the regulatory landscape? Often, many businesses are put off by all the different things. So tell us a little, because that's your area of expertise.
Okay. So Karibu Nyumbani, this is home for us. I'm Rosa NDUATI-MUTERO, managing partner at ALN Kenya. ALN Kenya is the largest law firm in East and Central Africa, and we provide integrated business solutions on the continent. We're also in 14 countries, and so a lot of our clients coming to do business in Africa, we tell them that they only need to have one-stop shop into the whole of Africa. And that's why the question you're asking me is quite interesting. Why we've partnered with BPI to host this event is exactly that. We want to connect ideas, and we want to connect the continent. The question you've asked is whether, how do you face such a daunting regulatory landscape? And one of the things people quickly learn when they come into Africa is that it's not a country. It's actually different countries, up to 54, 55 if you may. And the main thing that you need to keep your eye on is you need to partner with the right local people. And what we provide at ALN is business solutions that have global expertise, but local connection. So in each of the countries, you need to have the local expertise and the local connection to hold your hand and help you know what you need to do. The other thing that you need to do when you're doing regulatory business here is you need to understand the regulators and create a good working relationship. When people come, they fear the regulators and feel, you're not very sure how the conversations will go. But if you have the right local partners to take you to create the relationships with the regulators, you will find that you'll be able to have a more seamless entry into the continent.
There's also new economies or new ways of doing business that are coming up. There's, a circular economy. There is carbon markets and the environment, which is a massive a new issue. So how does ALN continue to redefine itself and to reinvent itself? Do you bring in people that are experts in these areas, or do you guys keep learning?
Right. Good question. And sustainability has ceased to be a buzzword. With the whole global climate change and everything that is happening, we are very clear now that everyone needs to do something. And so I think Africa is placing itself as a continent in which you can invest sustainably and through sustainability. So the question you've asked, for example, carbon markets. Kenya is the second in trade in carbon markets in Africa in 2022, as an example. We have passed regulations on carbon markets and making sure that there's a good regulatory environment. So ALN, as business partners and as legal partners, one, made sure we could input into the carbon markets regulations. Two, have taken up key areas of sustainability like the plastics. So you do know that there's a plastics treaty right now, and there's a push towards a binding international legal instruments on plastics. And what we've done on a pro bono basis in ALN is then we've gone into that space. We are advising and working with the Kenya government here to ensure that Africa as a continent is having a place on the table in the international intergovernmental discussions on the plastic treaty, and making sure that key areas such as waste management, key areas such as the circular economy, the people at the bottom of the pyramid, how do we make sure that they are well represented in this sustainability story?
And is this profitable as a company, or is it more doing it because it's a good thing to do? How does ALN look at this? As a business aspect or as a social impact?
So to begin with, for example, let me take the plastics treaty. We started it as a pro bono item. So we worked with an organization called Flip Floppy. They were cleaning up plastics in the Indian Ocean. Mm-hmm. And through that, we've helped to push policy, create thought leadership. We're even sponsoring a bill at the East Africa Assembly for the elimination of single-use plastics. That's from a pro bono perspective. But as we are doing our business, we actually have our eye on our own business, growing our business and growing our clients' businesses. So, for example, we did the first wind power project in Kenya. That's the Lake Turkana wind power project. It was the largest in sub-Saharan Africa at that time. We were legal advisors on that, groundbreaking in terms of the documentation, the government relations, and what have you. So we understand that our clients cannot do business without a sustainable framework. And so while it has a philanthropic angle, it has an impact angle, it's also very key and center to our business.
Wonderful. Rosa, thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate your time. I hope you're going to have a wonderful, inspiring, continuing to inspire people and connecting people throughout the day.
It was a pleasure speaking to you all too.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.